What makes Hollywood tick? What keeps its pulse throbbing at such a rapid rate? A search for its heart lays bare a powerful business operation, driven by producers, publicists, and agents. These are the people that the artists turn to guide and steer them through the inner workings of show business in Hollywood.
Yeah. She said there's no place for female vocalists on ships, right?
Listen, I'm trying to do the best I can for you, as a mother, as an agent, and if you keep plugging away, you're going to do fine.
So agents think of themselves in a more respected kind of way as businessmen, whereas before, I think, they were considered the schlepper for the actor. Now they're the businessman for the actor. You know, they're the guys that make 10% and more. And now they're into packaging, they get more than just their 10% fee. Do you see what I mean? And they become multi-millionaire business people who own incredible corporate structures of business, and they're very powerful people.
AC and I, in fact, arrived in Hollywood at about the same time. And today, 50 years later, AC is still at Paramount, celebrating a long, successful career as a distinguished producer.
If I were young, if I were attractive, if I were 19, I thought I had talent, and I wanted to get in this business, I'd find a good agent. I'd find an agent that I thought was as good as my talent, and try to convince him that I had what it takes for him to make money.
A lot of money changes hands here. And it's a very powerful business. It's to be recognized, it's to be respected. I mean, there's no reason to say anything bad about it. It functions, it's working.
Hollywood can be great, and it can be glamorous, and it can be everything that you imagine. But it can also be a very, very difficult place with a lot of people who are caught in a trap in so many ways. They're caught in this trap and they don't know how to get out because you're so entangled with the people in your life now, your agents, your managers.
But without that agent or that manager, without that representative, the actor is out there naked.
I was running down my pants, and this woman next to me is...
Hold on,
just
stick with me. I'll just get this real quick, okay? Hello? Yeah. Hi, you know something? I have to call you back. I've got a client here.
The best actors that I work with have a good professional mind. They know how a business is supposed to be run, and they realize that they are the product.
Okay, yeah, I want to tell you something very interesting about Arnold Schwarzenegger. When Arnold first came to this town, he drove a car that had purple sheepskin covers on them. And he was like a muscle-bound guy, and
are there any Arnold Schwarzenegger fans in the house?
The biggest loser you could have picked out of the town at the time. This guy was going nowhere. I mean, his arms were out to here. He walked around like a muscle builder, like, you know, from a club that you wouldn't even venture to go into. And the purple seat cover says a lot. You know, dyed purple. Can you imagine? Sheepskin, it was awful. And he put these on his car and on his steering wheel. And now he's paid $20 million or more, who knows, for movies.
Arnold was Mr. America. And Arnold got upset because of the hard work that you have to do to become Mr. America, whereas Miss America is pretty much an accidental birth. You're born beautiful, boom, that's all you got to do. Put on a bathing suit, and maybe you got some talent. Maybe you can sing. It's not one Miss America we know about who sings.
Oh, come on.
One.
Arnold did something that most of the stars didn't. He went out and Arnold got his education. Arnold knew how to market Arnold, and still does.
In Detroit, they make automobiles. Here, behind these Hollywood gates, we make dreams. This is a dream factory.
Arnold was my grand marshal in the Hollywood Christmas Parade a few years ago, and he told me, he said, this is the most wonderful thing in the world. I got here on a Saturday, and on Sunday nights, and Prince said, you've got to come down to the Hollywood Christmas Parade. And Arnold, being the marketing person he is, and the great believer in himself that he is, was sitting there saying, one day I'll be in that parade. 8 years later, he was a grand marshal. From sitting on the curb one parade to the lead car 8 years later.
Who's to say that Mr. Schwarzenegger will not win an Academy Award one day? Just for his perseverance, his endurance, his tenacity, and his ability over time to come to a part that will mesmerize everybody, and he'll play some part in some movie with Quentin Tarantino directing. God knows what, I'm making it up. But the point is, there's nothing that's impossible.
What's up?
Well, I have some news for you.
Yeah?
Last week, remember when I went on that audition for the Broadway show that my mom got for me, and I was excited, and then I blew it, and I came home and cried all week, and well, I got it. I got the Broadway show, and we start rehearsal in 2 months, and I'm at a Broadway show! I can't believe it. It's my whole dream come true.
What I'm saying is, your mother's not the tightest rap person in the world. On Wednesdays, she plays a psychic. This is a woman who's supposed to be your agent. She's been this whole thing with this boy or this young actor thing that she's had going on. And I'm really, I would make sure before we start celebrating too much.
So you're an actress from South Africa?
Yeah, you ever heard?
Yeah?
Yeah, I am.
You have anything lined up here?
My mother is a legit agent. She is psychic. So I can tell you of so many things that happened when I was a kid. She is, and whatever she does with people in her spare time, that's her own business. If she wants to have an affair with somebody younger, that's her business.
Somebody
not
younger,
mine.
22 years younger than she
What's your problem
is?
with that? What do you care?
I think I got something really good for you. Want to be a bodyguard?
Yeah, for who?
Do you know who Lulu is?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Bodyguard for Lulu?
Yep.
Allison of the Eastwoods.
Allison of the Eastwood. East of the woods, Allison. It might look like, glamour and all these wonderful things, but underneath it is really a kind of a cutthroat business. And you have to be aware that it has, it's a double-edged sword.
I think it's a nest of vipers. I mean, come on. It is. It's a nasty business. But when you get away from the business and get into what can be called art, that's what I enjoy. So that's why I put up with the rest of it.
It's in every facet of this business. It's people who unfortunately, sometimes really bad decisions are made on the part of producers or, anybody in this business because they want to test how powerful they are, Well, no, I don't want her in this movie because I just don't think she's right for it. It's really just, I wonder if I can get that, I wonder if they'll take me being firm kind of a thing.
You get to know people on a personal level because you're in their face every day, and you're doing their makeup. And yeah, I know a lot of things I probably shouldn't know, and I know a lot of things I don't want to know, to be honest with you. I don't care. Who cares about who's doing this and that and the other? I could care less.
Okay, well then, how would I go about getting her number? I mean, this is someone I know. I'm not just some crazy person from off the street and I'm trying to get Lulu's phone number. I actually know her, and, right? Okay, all right, I understand that. Then how would I get in touch with her?
Well, the character. I think you guys have a character for me, though. Bolt Spaulding is his name. Am I right? Yes. Bolt would sleep with anybody to get a role.
I would love to see Lulu just take over the world. Just stun the world. She's fascinating and she has talent and she's glamorous. And I think that if anyone can do it, Lulu could. Bud, hi, it's Lulu. Listen, I don't understand what's going on. I have a hit movie out.
Yeah, we got a big thing.
I mean, come on, I
Carmen.
should be all over the place. What's going on? We'll definitely give them a call and, make something happen.
Take a look all over the world, all over the universe. Everyone will know about Jamie and Carmen Electra. Even in Timbuktu. I'll see to it. Carmen has everything that it takes to become a superstar because she's a businesswoman, and being a businesswoman, there comes a lot of you know, decisions that you have to make to reach that level. And she knows what she's doing. She has that ability.
We were introduced during the Academy Awards, and we just became very close. He was someone that I really trusted, and I think it's really important if you have someone working very close to you, such as a manager or a PR person, it has to be someone that you really can relate to, someone who understands your dreams and your beliefs, and I think that Eric really does.
Bud. Last name, no, okay, just Bud. And the number is? Okay. Okay, cool.
What is my biggest fantasy is to find a totally unknown personality I believe in and bring that personality to an Academy Award. Might happen with Michael Gersian.
I think what Dale does is help me understand that there's that whole other side of marketing and publicity, and without him I'd probably still be doing theater and doing great work, but as far as moving up, there's a lot of things that you need to do, which he helps me with, I guess.
I think he's going to be the next Robert De Niro.
What I don't want to have happen is to be a flavor of the month, or somebody who comes in and does something and everybody goes, woo, oh my God, this guy, and then whew, out the window.
Flavor of the month in this business is when something is successful. The really most interesting example in recent months is a young man no one has ever heard of named Matthew McConaughey.
That's really cool. I mean, a lot of opportunities and options and choices are coming on now that I've never had before.
It's fascinating. I mean, he was on everybody's lips in this entire country before anybody had ever really seen him.
It's a wonderful time in my life, and this is going to be fun.
If they want to make Matthew a star, they must know what they're doing. You know, that's their business, and you have to have respect for it. If I'm going to act a scene, I think the best thing a director could say to me, I'll watch and I'll wonder, and let's see what you give me. You know, because you are the pro, you're the expert, you're the talent. Show me, and let me pick what I want and suggest what I want. You know, so everybody does their job well, we hope. But I think whatever jobs they're doing in this town, when it comes to movie making, when it comes to making deals, when it comes to the technical aspects of the film world, I mean, you couldn't get better than this place.
Well, if you're at all, I hate to use the word thinking person, but if you're someone who cares at all about the direction society is going in, it's terrifying. Because every decision is based on money.
Out of a sense of greed or lustful grabbing, Hollywood is creating megastars, a handful of megastars that are ruining the business because they are getting too much money.
Agents have never been interested in the art of film. They're interested in how much money they can make for their client. And the money they made soared. You know, when I first came here, $1 million was an enormous amount of money to be paid. That was a decade ago. The top stars in the business are now getting paid $20 million.
What that means is that so much money goes into those particular productions, there is very little left for other kinds of films that used to be made.
Superstar, according to Hollywood's definitions, it's someone that's a blockbuster, that's bringing in a couple million per movie. But I think superstar overall, I don't know, I think it's someone that's good, not just making the money. I think it's an actor that's being nominated for the Oscars and someone that's really contributing to the profession.
Anybody in any career, you strive for success. And the price of success in Hollywood is fame. So I think, you know, they down deep, everybody must, I mean, who wouldn't like success?
So there's absolutely nothing, like, once again, you cannot give me this number, even if I'm a friend of hers from the past. Okay, all right. Okay, fine.
One has to understand that if one is famous, you certainly can't pick your nose in public because somebody's going to find out.
Hugh Grant, poor kid. He was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and he never should have been there. And then you wonder, you know, but there were 1,800 men maybe a night that go in and out, nothing's ever said. Hugh Grant goes in, there's your example. He almost lost everything.
He did one thing and one thing only that made it work for him. He went on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno like a little boy saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I mean, I know I shouldn't have done that, but I mean, and giggling and sort of doing that, and America fell in love with him.
Because I don't know, too difficult.
Highlight. Oh, I've had plenty of them. I've had many. I think one of the greatest moments for me was trying to overcome this incredible feeling of intimidation and excitement and self-consciousness, walking up to Robert Mitchum's arm and having to say, I love you, sweetheart, like his woman, and going, oh my God, it's Robert Mitchum, because I idolized him so, and I thought he was a spectacular human being and a superior actor. We played two people in a trailer park, if you can believe it. It was really an interesting thing to try to grab hold of trailer park people. I mean, to me, it was like being on the moon. I came from New York City. We were in Cape May, New Jersey, and McKeesport, Pennsylvania. It was like, where the hell are we? And who are these people that would come up to him with their hair and rollers and Bermuda shorts and, hi, Bob, and run after him. And he had eyes in the back of his head. One time, one of the greatest stories about him, he was sitting in a director's chair that they have on the set for actors, and I'm sitting next to him, and he said, get up. I said, what? He said, get up and keep moving. So I got up and I kept walking with him, and at one point I heard the shrills of all these women, and I turned around, and there were about 4 women, all chunky, in their Bermuda shorts and their big tits, running down the street. Bob, come back here, Mitchum. I want your suit. I want your pants so I can sew a heart on them. I mean, he was running like you can't believe. And I said, do you have eyes in the back of your head? And he went, yep. He knew it. He just felt it. But that's obviously living with it for years. People would sneak into his motel room and take his shorts. That's what I meant, not his pants. Take his shorts out of his bedroom, out of his drawer, and embroider a heart on it, on the ass. And loved him to death. And he would sign people's autographs. This is why he was such a magnificent original. He would sign autographs to women. If I'm not there by 9, start without me. He was the greatest. I just loved him. I looked at him like he was a painting that changed every day before my eyes, and he taught me a lot.
I think that when one becomes famous, what occurs is not so much a change as it is a mirror to the inner soul. I think that whatever has been hiding in there comes out. And I think that when one becomes famous, what is fame? It's saying that we adore you. You can do no wrong. We all know you. We all accept you. We adore you. I think that that's when they go to who their true character is.
And I've seen Chuck Heston stand, talk to the person, answer their questions, autograph the menu, pose for a picture, and be so gracious and sit down to go back to dinner, which is getting cold. And someone has said to him, my gosh, Chuck, this is an invasion. He said, no, it's not. It's part of the business. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't be making pictures. If we weren't making pictures, I wouldn't be working and I wouldn't be acting.
I really had no idea. I'd never done films before. I had no idea what I was in for, how big the movie was going to be. And so when it opened, and the first weekend, it did $17 million in the United States. So within 3 days, I was walking down the street and people were recognizing me, And at first, it was very flattering and stuff like that. And then there's this feeling of insecurity that comes across you, And by that, I started changing my hair color, doing everything to kind of like be more, and it wasn't even to like a huge degree like some people, you know what I mean? Which must be just a nightmare, I mean, in some aspects.
I had to run home, change my clothes, shower, get all spiffed up, and I was like, my God, I'm actually going to see Lulu, right? I mean, can you imagine being her bodyguard?
Wow.
And Lulu looks at me and she's like, well, you're not a woman. And I was like, wow. No, as a matter of fact, I'm not, I'm a bodyguard. I was like, am I that small? Yeah. And she's like, no. She's like, I wanted a woman.
Really?
being Lulu's bodyguard could just open a whole world of opportunities for you.
Am I big enough? Do I look kind of threatening?
Oh, come get a life.
I like bright colors and I wear lots of feathers and long dresses and very, clothing that stand out, very classy. And so I would like for you maybe to wear all black.
What a shame. Country girl wakes up one morning, says she wants to be a star.
The downside is believing it.
Friends and family are discouraging, say you won't get very far.
That's what life's all about.
But you can't deny what's in her heart. She's gotta go out and do her part.
There are certain people that think they need to go in an entourage with bodyguards and all that. And there are other people that are just as famous, like Madonna, that can walk on the street. I think if you act normal, you'd be treated normal. If you act like a movie star, then you'd be treated like that. And people are gonna, I think when you go around in an entourage, you ask for attention.
I understand that, but see, and like I explained to them, is that, can you hold on for a second? I'm sorry, like I explained to them, was that I'm a friend of hers from the past. Right.
If you're going to be going out into a public place where you're being promoted as being there, and there are people that are showing up to see you, then it could be, you never know who's going to be there. There's all kinds of people out there that are, some sort of whacked out in the head about, about how they feel about it. They feel like maybe they sent you a fan letter and you never responded to it. I mean, who knows? And that's it. You got to protect yourself as well. But going to the supermarket with a bodyguard is just kind of ridiculous, I think.
You know what I find? The smaller the star, the bigger the ego. Isn't that amazing?
Or if you don't, they'll eat you up. They'll have you for dinner. You got to have a good ego. You got to know who you are, what you can do, and you've also got to know when to compromise, because it isn't going to always go your way, especially out here.
Oh, sorry about that. I was on the phone.
That's okay. You Colt?
Bolt, actually.
Oh, God, sorry.
Yeah. Are you Chris?
Yeah.
Chris.
You have the place for rent?
That's right. Yeah, sorry. My mind's in another place.
Do I think there's people in this town that get obsessed to be a star? Absolutely. Absolutely. They see people around them, and it's so close here. It's all at arm's length here, to see people that are doing that and doing well. And a lot of people have an attitude, why them and not me, and that kind of thing. So they become obsessed with it, yeah.
It's like a drug. I mean, once you've tasted it, then it's just, there's nothing else like it.
She wanted to be a star. Marilyn Monroe wanted to be a star, I guess, as much as anybody that ever lived. And I think it's pretty ironic that she used to stand over here by Franklin. And Clark Gable had an apartment there. And used to watch to see if when Clark Gable would be coming and going. This is long before she ever got in the business. We're right here at the Roosevelt Hotel right now in Hollywood. And she used to sit around the lobby here. And her first commercial photo shoot was done out at the pool here at the Roosevelt Hotel. Marilyn she's a child of Hollywood, really. I mean, she was around here a long time.
On the Boulevard of Dreams. And who will decide if you go all the way? Is it you or them, tomorrow or today? And you try so hard as they chip away. And the pieces of your confidence.
I love the Steve Gadd stuff.
I firmly believe that it's totally blasphemous what Hollywood has become, because it was a glamour factory at one time, and the stars at one particular time represented people's dreams.
I kind of know where Lulu lives. Yeah.
Are you serious?
I gotta say one thing, at least we have fun, and that's all that matters.
If you can't have fun in this business, get out of it.
Totally.
Hello, can we talk?
Grandma,
Life's a cabaret over here already. Am I being harsh, abrasive? Well, you know what? That's reality, darling. Can we talk? Okay.
Out on the Boulevard of Dreams.
Mwah, life's a cabaret. Life's a cabaret. It's a small circle of Hollywood. And God bless all you people from Wisconsin, Detroit, Abilene, and the rest of the places. Because you know what? We all come here and we meld, and we're one. And it doesn't matter where the hell you're from, as long as you're here. And what's important is being here now.